We are constantly putting on guises. We cannot understand or see God. We are unable to see Him in the heart of other living beings. We can't see how He manifests Himself outwardly, and we can't hear His voice within, and we cannot understand how He speaks to us through the mouth of our spiritual master. It is very difficult for us to actually recognize Krishna. Although God is everywhere, and there is nothing easier than seeing Him, we cannot because pride does not allow us to do so. In the Ramayana, there is a remarkable episode when Sugriva sent Hanuman to find out who Ram is. Ram and Lakshman appear near Mount Rashyamukha, where Sugriva, with his return, were hiding with a handful of monkeys who had remained faithful to him. For fear of his brother Wali, he was hiding there. When Sugriva saw Ram, he was terribly scared, saying, "Who's that? It must be someone sent by Wali to kill me." He said to Hanuman, quote, "Go and find out who it is. You are smart. Take on a disguise and pretend to be a Brahmana." Unquote. So Hanuman disguised himself as a Brahmana with mala in his hand and appeared before Ram and asked, quote, "Who are you? Why are you here?" So Ram told Lakshmana, quote, "A good man has come to us. So please explain to him who we are." Unquote. So Lakshman explained to Hanuman, quote, "This is Ram, the son of King Dashrath. Due to some misunderstanding, he was exiled to the forest, and I'm with him because I'm his eternal servant." Unquote. So Hanuman slapped his forehead in consternation because since early childhood, he had been chanting the name of Ram. Ram, Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. He asked Lord Ramchandra, "Ram, is it you, my Lord? I have been worshipping you since childhood, always chanting your holy name. You have appeared before me directly, so please tell me why I did not recognize you." So the Lord replied as follows, quote, "How could you have recognized me? Look at the disguise you have on. Ye athamam prapadyante tam tathaiva bhajami aham." You have come to me in a false disguise, pretending to be someone else. So how could you have recognized me? Unquote. That is a very important lesson for all of us. As long as we pretend to be someone else, we won't be able to recognize Krishna, even if he is standing right in front of us. So according to Raghunath Das Goswami, he is urging us to give up cheating. He says that if you want to cheat Krishna, then Krishna will necessarily have to cheat you and deprive you of the opportunity to see and recognize Him. Giving up cheating is a vital stage in spiritual life, the nature of which we must clearly understand. This stage is called Anartha Nivritti. Initially in spiritual life, we are extremely enthusiastic, feeling that this is exactly what we need, especially if we come to Krishna consciousness after having suffered or having been disillusioned in material life. We think that the beginning attraction and ecstasy will last forever. But at some point, this ecstasy is over and we are faced with our gross and subtle anarthas, preventing us from truly seeing or feeling God. So we will stop here. Slowly and slowly we are getting all these obstacles why we are unable to advance in spiritual life. So we will be dwelling the life of Srila Prabhupada now. We are reading from volume number 3, chapter title as A Revisit to India, part 2, I think. That's where we are. Yes. So we will continue. I'll read one more paragraph because last time we read is on Friday. It's very difficult to remember. So 4 or 5 lines I will read what we read on Friday and then we will continue. But soon they would see there was great potential in the West. Prabhupada has shown many of his godbrothers the newspaper articles, Swami's flock, chanting in Tompkins Square Park, ancient trance dance at Stanford University, and he had brought some disciples with him. These were only beginnings. Much more had to be done. So that's where we left on Friday, so we will continue. And who would help? B.P. Keshav Maharaj was dying. Sridhar Maharaj couldn't come out. Who else? Most Indians were impersonalists, non-devotional yogis, or demigod worshippers. As Srila Prabhupada stood before the Radha Govinda deity, explaining to Achyutanand and Ramanuja how he had worshipped them in his childhood and how they had been his first inspiration in Krishna consciousness. He understood deeply that he must take Krishna consciousness all over the world, even if single-handedly. Of course, he was not alone. He had disciples, and they were opening new centers even in his absence. He would have to return to them very soon and supervise his growing movement. The Muliks regarded Prabhupada more as a relative than as a spiritual leader. To them, he was a hometown cousin who had done something successful in America. Narendranath Mulik, a childhood friend of Prabhupada's, called Prabhupada Dada, brother, and regularly joked with him. The Muliks were glad to give Prabhupada and his 2 followers a large room in temple compound for as long as they wanted to stay in Calcutta. Prabhupada set up his usual arrangement, a mat on the floor, a low table for desk, and beside the desk, his few possessions. Here, he could study and write, receive guests, or rest. Daily, some local woman brought Prabhupada and his disciple simple prasadam in a tiffin. The Kali Puja celebration drew large crowd into the main hall before the Kali deity, and Prabhupada gave regular lectures there from Srimad Bhagavatam. He also spoke in the homes of various Mulik families. The host, member of the dwindling Bengali aristocracy, would offer Prabhupada and his disciple Radha Govinda Prasadam, cut fruits, water chestnut, minced ginger, and soaked salted mung beans. Most of those who came to visit Prabhupada in his room were not really interested in spiritual life, but they wanted his blessings. There was a local Brahmana whose occupation was to go from shop to shop carrying a few flowers, a cup of water, and a brass container with sandalwood paste and kumkum powder. Using this paraphernalia, he would offer a blessings to the shopkeepers every day and receive a few paisa in payment. Knowing Prabhupada to be a Vaishnava, the Brahmana came to see him to receive his spiritual benediction. The man's forehead was decorated with both Vaishnava tilak, two vertical lines, and a Saivit tilak, three horizontal lines. After the man left, Achyutanan asked Swamiji, who was that? He is a hired Brahmana, Prabhupada said. When he goes to the Vaishnava, he gives them blessings. And when he goes to the Saivats, he gets money. He has to make a living. Another man came, asserting that he would to teach Prabhupada disciple Hindi. He asked Prabhupada to help him to get to America. But Prabhupada told him, quote, you must take sannyas. Then I will bring you to America, unquote. After 2 visits, the man stopped coming. A Mulik relation, a small, bold, bright-eyed man, came by one day carrying a book entitled Interesting Studies. He posed philosophical questions, simple queries about karma, jnana, and bhakti, but then would interpret Prabhupada and answer them himself. Finally, when the man asked one of his questions, Prabhupada replied, so what is your answer? The man gave a general answer. But till later, when Prabhupada began explaining that Lord Krishna, the speaker of the Bhagavad Gita, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the man interrupted. Quote, you may call God Krishna, call him Shiva, call him blank, unquote. No, Prabhupada said, Krishna is the Supreme Lord and all others are demigods. The man became little nervous and quoted a popular Bengali impersonalist who taught that all gods and all methods of worship are the same. He is an upstart, Prabhupada said. That is not the teaching of the Gita. What is these other teachings? It is all utter confusion. If you go on speaking like this, the man said angrily, I will have to leave this place. Please don't criticize this Paramhamsa, unquote. Why not? Prabhupada said. He is concoctor. The man got up and left, calling out, quote, you don't know Krishna, as he left the room. Prabhupada turned to Achyutanand and Ramanuja and smiled. Quote, every time you introduce Krishna, they say, why only Krishna? But that is what Krishna says. Mataha partaram manyat. There is no truth superior to me. These rascal impersonalists have ruined Bengal. One day a man gave Prabhupada a 200 rupees donation. And Prabhupada immediately asked the pujari for an old set of Radha Govinda clothes. Gave the clothes to some of the temple ladies along with the 200 rupees and asked that the ladies make gold embroidery dresses for Radha Govinda. Quote, Radha Govinda are taking care of us, unquote, he said. So we can take care of them also. Ramanuja's beard was huge, looking like an ordinary hippie. He misrepresented Srila Prabhupada wherever they went. Prabhupada told Achyutanand, quote, tell your friend to shave, unquote. Achyutanand and Ramanuja talked, but Ramanuja wouldn't shave. Wanting Ramanuja to agree on his own, Prabhupada didn't ask him again. But when a copy of the latest Back to Godhead magazine arrived from the States, Prabhupada got an idea. Two illustrations in the magazine showed Haridas Thakur converting a prostitute. After her conversation, the prostitute has shaved her head, showing the picture to Ramanuja. Prabhupada asks, what is the difference between this picture and that picture? I don't know, Swamiji, Ramanuja replied. No, Prabhupada said, pointing to the pictures. What is the difference in this picture? Oh, she is a devotee. Yes, Prabhupada said. But what else? Oh, she has a shaved head. Yes, Prabhupada smiled. A devotee has a shaved head. Do you want me to shave my head? Yes. So then Ramanuja shaved his head. But within a few days, he began growing his beard and hair back. Quote, from now on, unquote, Prabhupada told Achyutanand, quote, no more cheap initiations. They have to know something, unquote. Ramanuja hung on. Prabhupada wanted Ramanuja and Achyutanand to remain in India after his departure and continue to try for American house in Vrindavan. Ramanuja wrote his own impressions to his friend Mukunda in San Francisco as follows. Please be advised that we are doing all we can to get him off as soon as possible. But this primitive Indian government is putting obstacle in our way. The man who could have given Swamiji clearance for his P form has just drowned. So the clearance has to be made in Bombay. This is the delay. Here in Kolkata, we are having lots of fun addressing different people. Swamiji makes Achyutanan and myself give a short speech. I'm becoming more and more expert at this. I think that he makes us speak in order to show the audience that we American Vaishnavas are for real. And also, he wants everyone to preach Krishna consciousness. It is very difficult to take care properly of Swamiji's health here. For one thing, it is a big thing to show sweet in India, and it is impolite to decline. Also, we get all kind of visitors. We have not been able to go to bed before 11 o'clock, and Swamiji automatically wake up at 3. In this respect, the people here are very inconsiderate. But if Achyutanand and I ask them to leave, they will ask Swamiji if they should, and Swamiji, of course, say no. Anyway, his heartbeat is a little fast, and sometimes it is alarming fast. So I suggest that you get a good heart specialist to see him. Please arrange for this doctor, and above all, make sure that Swamiji gets plenty of rest. You need not restrict visitor too strictly, because if the company is good, Swamiji seems to enjoy visitors. Please do all you can to get Swamiji's beat to normal again. His chariots need to be fixed up so that he can remain on this earth for at least another 10 years. Knowing that Swamiji would soon be returning, the devotees in America began to increase their entreaties, each group asking him to come to their particular city. On November 4th, Prabhupada wrote Mukunda, quote, "As you say that my absence is being felt now surely more deeply than ever, so I also feel to start immediately without waiting," unquote. And to Mukunda's wife Janki, he wrote, quote, "Every minute I think of you. And as you asked me to go to San Francisco while returning from India, I'm trying to fulfill my promise. I'm thinking of going directly to San Francisco," unquote. And at the bottom of the same letter to Mukunda and Janki, Achyutanand added a health report as follows. Swamiji is looking healthy and living and working regularly, but his pulse rate is generally too fast. Last night it was 95, unusually fast even for him, as it generally hovers between 83 and 86. Prabhupada decided not to wait any longer on the chance that Mukunda might secure him permanent residency. Quote, "I want to return to your country where there is a good air and good water," unquote. He told Achyutanand one day, quote, "Every day we are receiving letters that the devotees want me there. I thought that in my absence they might deteriorate, and I was reluctant to even come to India. But now I see that it is growing. There is a need for me to go and supervise the expansion. So I want to go back," unquote. The only impediment now seems to be delayed e-form. a clearance from the Bank of India required for an Indian citizen traveling abroad. So Prabhupada write in his own word, I'm just ready for starting for America, but as you know, our competent government is very slow in action. The P form was submitted almost a month ago, but still it is undergoing rate tapism. The visa was granted to me within half an hour. The passage money was deposited within 2 days. But unfortunately, the Reserve Bank of India is delaying the matter unnecessarily. I expect the P form at any moment, and as soon as I get it, I shall start for your country. Just to make certain that Swamiji would come first to San Francisco, Mukunda sent a telegram to Calcutta saying, Swamiji, Brahmananda and I agree you start immediately. Advise exact arrival date, Mukunda, unquote. Prabhupada had planned his route through Tokyo, intending to stop for a day, quote, to probe if there is any possibility of starting a center, unquote. In Tokyo, he would let Mukunda know by telephone his arrival time in San Francisco. But 3 weeks passed while Prabhupada continued to wait for his P-form. Meanwhile, he received good news from New York. The Macmillan Company's interest in Bhagavad Gita was real. The contract was being drawn. Pleased with Brahmananda, he wrote to him on November 11, explaining his vision for distributing Krishna conscious literatures as follows. If publications are there, we can work from our center only like New York or San Francisco for propagating our cult all over the world. Let us stick to the publication of BTG more and more nicely and publish some Vedic literatures like Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, etc. 2 more minutes, few minutes. I don't think that we will be able to get to the next point. It's a little long, so we should stop here. We should be punctual in our practices, and the devotee may have other assignment to perform. So with those thoughts, we will stop here. And before the devotees leave, I would like to offer my humble obeisances at the desk of these wonderful Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. Vanchikalpatarubhasya kripa sindhu bhaivacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So anybody has any question, comment, corrections or chastisement before we end our session? Okay, no question, we should end our session. And if Krishna so desire, we'll see you before 2 o'clock in the morning, or you can join at your convenient time. Today my day will be a little hectic. I'll have to, as my son has dislocated his shoulder. They have put it back, but the surgeon wants to see because he had already 2 times surgery on the same shoulder. So I'll have to take him. He said, no, he will try himself. I said, no, let me help you one day. So I'll have to take him to do the MRI and muscle and bone tests to see how good they are.
How did that happen, Prabhuji?
It happened on Friday. While he was sleeping, he waked me up at just before my alarm clock is at 1:21, and he woke me up at 1:19 a.m. That please take me to the emergency. So he works at the Methodist in the medical center. So I took him there, and they were nice. I think they put him back his shoulder by 5 o'clock. But now the surgeon wants to see the MRI and the bone and the muscle test to see exactly what the next step should be. I don't know, there is another surgery or it can he can recuperate with whatever medicines or something. I don't know. We'll find out. So once we have this report, and also he wants to study to become an anesthesiast, and he has to take so many prerequisites. So he is starting the school today, full time, like at least from 10:30 to 3:30 or something. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. 4 days he will go to school, and Friday, Saturday, Sunday he work. 3 days. That's full time, 13 hours a day. So he will be really busy. So I told him today. He said, no, 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 don't take the trouble. I can drive. And his school is also starting today. So I'll have to take him to the Willowbrook Mall, the Methodist hospital there, to do the MRI and bone test. And then